You know, I don't get you, Devereaux. I'm the one you want. Why not take your shot?
Tempting. Give away my position, though. I'm always willing to die for the cause, eh, Mason?
Fear's the enemy. You taught me that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't finished teaching you yet, son.
Yet here I am about to take you down all the same.
You're not gonna take me down, kid. You're a blunt instrument at best. No perspective, no knowledge.
Keep talking, old man.
This is humiliating. Embarrassing. Just like in Moscow.
That's a scene from The November Man, starring Pierce Brosnan. We have Len Archibald and Dave Adams in to review it for us today. Len, it harkens back, as you said, to Cold War. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah,
here?
you know, this is a movie based on a series of books that were created in the 1980s. Pierce Brosnan plays, I guess, an older CIA agent, Devereaux, who's pulled back into the spy game after, I guess, your typical double cross that happens.
The plot is complicated. There's actually, I think, too much plot.
Okay.
But the standard attractions that bring us to these kind of movies are all there. Gun chases and foot chases and beautiful women and plot twists and bad guys and so on. But there are a lot of plot elements that are either, on one hand, highly predictable or kind of goofy. You can talk about those on your way home after you've seen the movie.
One of the things that I think a lot of people will be talking about on their way home is that we haven't seen Pierce Brosnan do a role that's even close to James Bond since his last. Is that part of the discussion on the way home?
Well, yes. It's hard not to see Brosnan as James Bond, although the character is not particularly Bondian, if I can say that.
This is even more along the lines of even pushing farther than like even a Daniel Craig James Bond, because Devereaux, Pierce Brosnan's character, is a very dark character. It's very morally ambiguous.
He has no emotional connections with other people. At least that's what other people say about him, and he says the same thing pretty much about himself. He says you can be you can be a human being, or you can kill other human beings. You can't be both.
Right.
But it's not altogether clear that he isn't both. So that his character, I think, is ill-formed in this film. First he's one thing, then he's another.
Did you find the plot too complicated? Like
it was a little bit on the complicated side. You know, I think they tried to make this kind of they tried to mix you know, the Bourne Identity and James Bond together. And yeah, it did get too muddled. You know, you had your sorcerer and apprentice storyline between Pierce Brosnan and his
that's the
protege.
emotional. If I can interrupt for a moment, the connection between Mason and Devereaux, Luke Bracey and Pierce Brosnan, is the emotional heart of the film. There's a kind of love-hate, father-son, mentor-mentee relationship, which is interesting, but not really very well developed. That's part of the problem with those messy characterizations.
And you have your Cold War plot. So you know, someone's trying to I guess be a puppet master for someone who's running for the Russian presidency. You have a revenge plot in there. You have I guess a war crime undercurrent storyline.
Yeah, there really are too many plot lines. I would agree with Len on that.
But it is better than Die Another Day.
Oh, well, there you go. But
if you remember that one back in 2002.
Which really you really should not. I apologize for anyone who was trying to get that out of their mind.
I almost feel bad for Pierce Brosnan, though, because that's immediately what you're going to think of. He's been, I don't want to say typecast as James Bond, because that's tough to do, but
he's also been typecast as Remington Steele.
That's right.
That's the character he's played mostly.
Sure.
One version or another of this character.
Yeah.
So here he is again, and he's very good at it.
Yeah, and
he's quite good in this film.
Yeah, with him in it, he definitely brings a gravity or credibility to the role. So.
Sure. Let's go to the Lenny scale. How many Lennys are we giving to this?
2.5.
It's right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. It wasn't anything life changing, but I mean, I'll pretty much forget about it by next week. So.
And your final words kind of say the same thing.
Here they are. Former spy Pierce Brosnan is called back to the game. Spy versus Spy is the plot, or one of the plots. November Man is the name.
All right. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it very much. Good seeing you. We'll be back right after this.